good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to the facility. If it's your first time watching, appreciate you hanging with us this morning. Hopefully you've gotten your morning coffee. If you're James Jones, maybe your donuts. If you're me, avocado toast.
Donut Friday.
Donut Friday. Every day, James Jones walks into work with about 4 cups of coffee, but one is like a pink coffee blend, another is like a regular coffee blend.
I looks out for people in here, you know what I mean? Make sure you take care of people in here, you know what I mean? So, you know, they take care of you when you need them, you know what I'm saying?
That is James Jones, Super Bowl champ to his right, the quarterback, Chase Daniel. Chase, how's the drive in this morning, sir?
I was tired. Let's just put it at that. I made it. I was tired, not gonna lie.
From San Diego all the way to sunny California, Los Angeles, and to my right, Eagles Hall of Famer LaShawn Shady McCoy. All business today, Shady.
Yeah, I'm focused today, man. It's a lot of good topics. A lot of good topics. Save all that joking for them guys. I'm serious.
Hey, y'all could be watching any show. You're hanging out with us. We don't take it for granted. Hey, let's get to this. It was shocking news yesterday in the sports world when Jaire Alexander, cornerback for the Green Bay Packers, got released. It was very shocking, but now the question is, where will Jaire Alexander land? Many people have suggested Howie Roseman, ultimate aggressive general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles, he might look into acquiring Jaire Alexander, because what I would suggest is the one primary question on the Philadelphia Eagles is who is going to start opposite Quinyon Mitchell. The Eagles have an incredible defense last year, #1 defense in the National Football League. The Eagles defense is stout interior. You have first-round pick Jalen Carter. You have first-round pick Jordan Davis. You have first-round pick Nolan Smith at edge rusher. You have Jalen Hunt at opposite edge rusher. At linebacker, you got first-round pick Jihad Campbell. You have Defensive Player of the Year candidate Zach Bonnet. Cornerback, you have first-round pick Quinyon Mitchell. At nickelback, you have second-round pick Cooper DeJean. At safety, you have Reed Blankenship. He's a dominant player. Andrew Makuba, second-round pick this past year. But who is the opposite cornerback from Quinyon Mitchell for this Eagles team? I suggest, Shady, if it's Jaire Alexander, this Eagles team becomes even more unstoppable. But do you believe Jaire Alexander makes the Eagles unstoppable?
Eagles unstoppable. First, let me get this straight, because I love Jaire Alexander. He's that good. Locked down when he's healthy, all pro after all pro after all pro. That's how nice he is. But the Eagles, we don't really need much, though, dog. And this ain't a take against him, it's a take against us.
Yeah.
We that nice, but we don't need all that.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? All we need is a football and some referees and a whistle. You know what I mean? Because all we did last year is put belt to booty. Bop, bop, bop. Like we did to the NFC side, and then we went to the big dogs, to the AFC, did the same thing to them in the worst way. So, listen, we would love to have Jaire, because he is great. Yeah. But let me wake you up this morning. We do not need nobody.
Wake
us up.
So,
Wake us up.
I would love to have him, though, bro. I do think you have a shutdown corner that makes us unstoppable. We already are really, really good. I mean, we didn't defend the chance for a reason.
Fair.
If you don't believe me, ask James Jones. We beat his team twice in 1 year.
Twice.
They ain't in the same division.
That's how the morning starts.
So if we did have Jaire Alexander, I do think we'd be unstoppable. So yes.
Wow.
But we don't need much.
You don't need a lot.
Quarterback, where you stand on it,
Wait
Q?
till football season starts.
I know he's already chirping.
And I hate when this dude got bragging rights.
7:03 a.m.
Both his little teams doing good. Both
June
of them in the
10th.
Super Bowl last year. all that
Yankees are
money.
rolling too. It's unbelievable.
I'm just a winner.
They all lose.
Look, I don't think there's no such thing as unstoppable. Like, unstoppable means you are unbeatable. The Eagles got beat last year, but they are easily the best team going into this year. And I think that Jaire Alexander would help that. I don't think he would make them unstoppable. Look, the thing about Jaire that I like is when he does play football, because he's missed 34 games the last 4 seasons, that's 50% of the games. Now, some of it could be the head coach and him not seeing eye to eye, but when he plays, the defense is different. It looks different. Quarterbacks act different around it. They don't throw to his side of the ball. He's an all-pro for a reason. He's only 28 years old. I think that he, looking at how much he's played, it's like, he could be, he's only 28. He would fit in well, but I think that the question that Eagles need to ask is he worth $18 to $20 million a year, which he's going to get whether from the Rams or the Bills or even Minnesota, I think is a good fit for them because they're lacking corner. Are they worth that much money given his injury history, right? Can he stay healthy? Another thing, will he fit into that locker room culture? I think that culture there in Philly is second to none. I know Vic Fangio personally, right? He has a certain way he wants players to play. Does Jaire fit into it? I don't know. You know, they got to figure it out. It's impossible to tell. But to say that one player that's not a quarterback, not named maybe Patrick Mahomes, makes an NFL team unstoppable, that's hard for me to say, although I do think he would be a really good addition, especially on a team, okay, that has lost 5 defensive starters in the Philadelphia Eagles.
What's the weakest part of the Eagles team? Right?
Corner and opposite.
I mean, you got to think hard. It ain't like.
Not you, sir. Not you. Sir.
Corner. Yeah, there's one position for me. It's cornerback opposite Quinyon Mitchell.
Cornerback. And you have an opportunity to go at an all-pro corner. And we all believe, it was unanimous up here a week ago, that the Eagles going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we going back.
He's happy today.
At least that's what we think going into the football season. And now you add an all-pro in Jaire Alexander. It will make him unstoppable. I truly think it will. And I always go off of being healthy.
Yeah.
If Jaire's healthy, you got to deal with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
Yeah.
He can handle those dudes. You got to deal with Malik Neighbors. Yeah. Then you got to deal with Debo and Scary Terry.
Yeah.
And corner's the weakest position on the Eagles right now, and you add an all-pro. And not only that, I learned from you a little bit, too. CJ gone. So you need that cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs dude. No, for real. On the defensive side of the ball, you need that dude that's going to talk junk, that's going to be the enforcer, that's going to go out there and they going to make sure, hey, turn this thing up. That's Jaire. And that's one thing the Packers is going to miss. He was that dude.
Right.
He was that dude. Hey, we see him with Justin Jefferson all the time. Right? Grittying in front of him, we see all that. He is that dude that's going to be the one in there to kind of, hey, talk the junk, do all that, but he's going to back it up with the play. I think the Philadelphia Eagles, man, are unstoppable with a healthy Jaire. That is the only piece that they are truly, truly missing. And if you got to deal with those receivers in the NFC North or NFC East, get Jaire in there. I hate to say it, because the dude at the end of the table, but I think it makes him unstoppable, especially healthy. I don't know a weakness that you can exploit.
There's something else that was interesting, and I read it over the weekend. It wasn't a notable headline, but it's gigantic for this story. Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, he is the blackjack player who has the different cards in his hand. And he has a couple of aces in the deck. The aces being things that you can manipulate, the 1s or the 11s. That's Cooper DeJean. Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator, he said, we're going to find a way to start Cooper DeJean in our base package, either at outside cornerback or at safety. For those that are familiar, Cooper DeJean, he started only in nickel last year because you had Chauncey Gardner-Johnson who was starting and you had Darius Slay who was starting in base and in nickel. Cooper only started in nickel. In base personnel, when the offense comes out with 2 tight ends and a running back or a fullback and a running back and 1 tight end, Cooper DeJean, one of the best Eagles defensive players, he was off the field. But now, because he's one of the best defensive players, Vic Fangio is saying, no, we're going to find somewhere to put Cooper DeJean on the field.
As you should.
If you bring in Jaire Alexander, now all of a sudden, Cooper can play safety and you don't have to even think about putting him in a corner. But without Jaire Alexander, you might say to yourself, Cooper's a better option at outside corner than Kelee Ringo. Ringo doesn't have that many starts over the course of his career. Let's put Cooper at outside corner. But if you get Jaire Alexander, now you can manipulate that ace that you have in your hand, which is Cooper DeJean, in a much better fashion. And you say, hey, we'll put Jaire here, we'll put Quinyon here, we'll put Reed Blankenship at safety, we'll put Cooper at safety in base personnel. Then in nickel personnel, hey, our second-round pick, Makuba, will start at safety. Cooper, you play nickel. So the Eagles, if they acquire Jaire Alexander, I do think they become even more unstoppable because now you just can manipulate your deck even better and put the best players on the field.
I got a question for the desk. Do we think wholeheartedly that the Eagles, without anyone else added, are going to repeat? Like have probably the best chance to repeat?
Great chance. They have a great chance.
Obviously, right? Now,
still gotta play the games.
Even if they sign Jaire Alexander, you think they got a chance?
Great chance, of course.
So
I think they have a better chance.
You think they have a better chance?
do.
So
Yeah,
for me,
better
it's just like, I think the Eagles are that good right now that they don't need to go out and spend $18 to $20 million on a cornerback who has missed games, but when healthy is an all-pro. I don't know if it's in their best interest. Go out there, get another, I don't know if there's any pass rushers out there, but I just think spending the money just to spend it. Now, Howie is aggressive, and I love that about Howie. That's probably the number one reason the last 4 or 5 years they've been in so many Super Bowls and have won a Super Bowl. But to me, it's just like, it's a luxury signing.
Sure,
It's
but that's what Howie
a
does.
luxury signing.
But not only that.
But then you got to bid against all the other teams that really need the guy.
right.
Like the Rams really need a guy right now.
But not only that, though, I know the Eagles, we remember them against Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes is still running from the Eagles defense. But they weren't getting pressure all year long.
Yeah, not till the end of the back half of the season.
No.
They going to have to cover. And you just got a duo in Dallas in George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. You got a new duo in Washington and Debo and Scary Terry. Like, you're going to have to cover. He don't bring a lot of pressure. Yeah. He rushes forward, and he back end got to cover. So you can depend on some of these young boys if you want to, and you can move Cooper out there. Then who going to safety? Then you got to add this all-pro dude to your team right now, and you got a dude that can lock down one side of the field. I mean, it definitely helps their odds.
No doubt about it. Hey, well, speaking of money and monopoly money, you could suggest that Brock Purdy's money that's so big that it was sci-fi. Hey, Brock Purdy got $200 million in totality, $53 million a year. He got 180 or so guaranteed, 265. But now all the pressure is on this quarterback. Remember, for those that are less familiar, Brock Purdy was the last pick in the draft just 4 years ago. He was not supposed to be the starter. They drafted Trey Lance in that same draft class, traded 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance, but Trey Lance didn't work out. Jimmy Garoppolo, he went to a Super Bowl with the 49ers. He ends up getting hurt. He doesn't work out. Enter Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy goes to an NFC Championship game his first year, then goes to a Super Bowl the next year. Last year, he struggles. The whole team struggles, but then he gets $265 million. Shady, you have been very polarizing about your opinion on quarterbacks getting paid. It's over and done with. Purdy's paid now. But do you expect Purdy to prove he was worth the deal?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't mean he can't play really well. I think he'll play well in that system. He does well for that team. But we showed us last year that when the defense wasn't as good and the offense wasn't as good and guys weren't in the lineup, you couldn't carry him. So what's going to change? The money? The money going to make you carry these guys? You know, it's like so right now he's tied for what, seventh highest paid quarterback? Yeah. Is he his top 7 quarterback? This is why I keep talking about the market. Because when we talk about the tools and we talk about the Brock Purdy's, Trevor Lawrence's, it's like y'all don't deserve to get that type of money. Now, if you ask me, but Josh Allen got this type of money, Lamar Jackson, they get paid elite money. Will they make up for their contract? Yes, because they are that good. In simple terms, you are paying a quarterback that is really good in a system where the team does most of the work, elite money as a quarterback that carries the team no matter what the talent is like. And that's the question about Purdy is you paying a guy, basically, hey, man, we're going to give you elite money, even if you're not the main person driving this car, driving this bus. He's not. Every time we look at the Niners when they did great, when the NFC Championship games or if it's Super Bowl, it's always the players around him. It's always the coach. The freaking owner who makes all the decisions, who writes all the checks, said out of his mouth. Now, all the Niner fans, I see you outside, y'all want to come at me. So don't come at me, come at the owner. The owner said, we love Brock Purdy. He's great for our team. When you combine him, the head coach, and the team around him, we are really, really good. So when you get this money, this big check to Brock Purdy, it ain't going to the players, the owner, it's going to Brock. Now, if you put some other quarterbacks over there, like a Josh Allen, like a Patrick Mahomes, like Lamar Jackson, and you say, do you think they can earn a contract? Yeah, because in and out the lineup, it don't matter because they are that special. So I like Brock Purdy, but when you get paid that type of money, it's hard to make up for that contract if you're not super talented or super elite.
That's fair. That's fair.
And that's just being honest, bro. I love Brock Purdy, but come on, man. Seriously, come on. You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
Chase, you're in deep thought.
Yeah, I mean, I like the take. I couldn't disagree with it more. Just from a pure standpoint of playing the quarterback position. Look, and can he prove his worth to the contract? It depends on what you think the worth should be in the contract. Do you want to be Super Bowl champions every year if you pay a quarterback like that? It's probably not going to happen. Do you want to be relevant in November and December and keeping your team in playoff contention and playoff hunt because of your play? Yeah, I think you can do that. And I think that's sort of what the worth for this quarterback market is. Look, the salary cap keeps going up. In 2 to 3 years, whether we like it or not, this is going to look like a bargain. There's going to be above $60 million in the next 2 or 3 years with all these quarterback contracts coming up. Who knows what Lamar's going to get? He's due for an upgrade. Who knows what Mahomes is going to get? He's due for an upgrade. So for me, when you watch the San Francisco 49ers, yes, the scheme helps Brock Purdy. Yes, of course the players help Brock Purdy. You still have to go out there and make the throws. It's not like he is just back there throwing screens or throwing now bubbles or slants. He is throwing the football down the field at an extremely accurate rate. I'm pretty sure he's first or second since he's taken over in yards per attempt. He's not checking the football down. Yes, last year was a year that didn't go well. The entire team was hurt. There was injuries left and right. Yeah, he didn't play as well as he wanted to. But I do think with what we've seen for Brock Purdy to carry them two NFC championship games, and a Super Bowl, and you're a quarter away from winning a Super, maybe less than a quarter away from winning a Super Bowl, I think he will absolutely prove that he's worth the contract, because as contracts continue to rise, this is going to be probably 10th or 11th highest paid in the next 2 or 3 years, which I think Brock Purdy's a 10th to 12th to 13th best quarterback in the NFL. So I think they got it right. I think Brock Purdy probably could have got more. I think San Francisco could have dug their heels and said, hey, you know what? We got you for the next 3 years at $96 million, which they could have. They want him to be the quarterback. So when you look at the play on the field, in my opinion, as a quarterback, I do think he elevates this scheme, and I do think he elevates this team.
Real quick, I got one for y'all, though. And I just want to hear what I'm saying. So Brock Purdy's making elite money, correct? Yeah. And the question is, can he justify the contract? Would he ever outdo the contract? Yeah. I'm going to give you some names real quick, right? Now, Niner fans, stay with me now. All respectful. I'm trying to say something a different light, okay? Because that was a good take by Chase. Myles Garrett's probably an elite player, right? Makes a lot. He's the highest paid player.
The most elite.
So when a team plays the Browns, who are they circling?
Myles Garrett.
Top player?
Twice.
Okay. Highest paid running back in the football is Saquon Barkley. Yep. When a team plays the Eagles, who they circling? We got to stop him. We got to fight.
They circling on him on the tape right now.
Right. Saquon Barkley. Highest paid wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. When a team plays the Vikings,
double cover
who they circling? We got to stop them.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
Highest paid quarterback, Josh Allen. When a team plays the Bills, who are they trying to stop? Who's the main
J.A.?
quarterback?
When a healthy Niner team is there on offense, are they circling Brock Purdy?
Probably CMC. Right?
CMC.
Yeah.
Their last Super Bowl run, the whole game plan, we got to stop CMC. Or the all-pro Ayuk. You looking at Brock Purdy's the last guy on offense we got to worry about. On defense, the top player is Fred Warner, the highest paid. The defense, when they play the Niners, are they not circling him?
Of course.
So all I'm saying is, when you getting elite money and you talk about this contract, can I outdo it? How, when the whole game plan is opposite of you? It's 3 guys we worry about before we even get to you. And that's my whole point is, when you talk about these elite players and making this type of money, it's like, do you deserve it? How, when you play in the NFL, the elite, the coaches, the best coaches in the NFL, we not even circling you, dog. We circling other players.
I like this. Come on, man.
I'm just telling the truth today.
I think that's what my dog Shady's struggling with right now.
Yeah.
Is because of the money, and he has Purdy in the elite conversation. Like he hears that
elite
money. So really quick before I get my take, because you were the highest paid running back in the NFL.
Top 6 right now, still walking, dead or alive.
But when you was playing actively, you was the highest paid running back. When you signed that deal, did they want the same Shady or did they want a better Shady?
To be honest, they just wanted 2.5. The 2.5 we see, give me that.
That's it. So we
give
paying you.
Give me that.
That's it. So,
that's all pro. Give me that all pro.
That's it.
Okay.
So we paying you, and we just want that 2.5. We don't. Hey,
they want the all-decade 2.5. So give me that.
We don't want you trying to do nothing different. Hey, don't go put on no muscle trying this because you got some money. Nothing. We want this 2. When you sign this dotted line, we want the dude that we've been seeing.
They wanted the all-decade 2.5.
That's what.
So that's what they got. That's what they got.
That's who they got. Right. Okay. So. With that being said, I'm going to say he is going to live up to his contract because they're paying him just to do what you've been giving us.
Yep.
That's it. We gonna put a team around you. Just do what you've been giving us. And I'm taking the money out of it. I'm taking the elite conversation out of it. I'm taking all that out of it. We paid you the money to do exactly what you've been doing. Run the system. We will make sure we get all these pieces around you. You could think whatever you want to think about Brock Purdy, system quarterback, elite quarterback, whatever. To live up to the hype of this contract, just do what you've been doing. Yep. And that's why we paid you. And for Brock Purdy, I believe he will continue to do that in this system, so he will live up to the hype. I'm not even thinking about putting him in the Lamar, the Josh, the Joe, none of them conversations. Just do what you've been doing, and if you do that, you will live up to the hype because we going to put all the pieces around you like Shady has talked about.
For the sake of interest, do we have the full screen with the highest paid quarterbacks in NFL
crazy,
history?
Man.
Throw that up there because, Shady, I want to both talk to and to some degree maybe undress your argument.
Okay.
These are the top 10 highest paid quarterbacks in football, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if when you're looking at the Cowboys offense, you're circling Dak Prescott. I believe you're circling CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah,
I believe you're circling George Pickens this year. Josh Allen.
In the regular season? You're not circling Dak in the regular season?
In general.
I'm still circling the All-Pro.
Yeah.
But I'm Okay. But you know what I mean?
All
Josh Allen, Shady made a phenomenal point there. Joe Burrow, obviously you're circling Joe, but you're also for sure circling Jamar Chase, and you're for sure
circling Joe, though, too.
Joe's getting a circle.
Okay.
Joe's getting a circle. Trevor Lawrence.
Oh.
You put an X right there.
Jordan Love. James, I want to go to you here. Jordan Love. Is Jordan Love in your
the best
opinion?
player on all.
What about the running back?
Josh.
He's number 2.
What about Josh Jacobs?
But you circling him, though.
Yeah,
You circling him.
You guys, your eyes.
Offense is
He gets
gonna
a half
go
circle?
as
Tua
he goes.
Tagovailoa, you're
Josh.
circling Tyreek Hill, you're circling Jaden Waddle.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, I believe you're circling Amon Ra, I believe
Or
you're
both
circling
running
Jahmyr
backs.
Gibbs, I believe you're circling the speed receiver who I've forgotten his name.
Jameson Williams.
Jameson Williams. Then obviously Brock to Shady's point. Herbert, you could circle Herbert. Lamar, you could circle Lamar. Jalen Hurts.
You circling Jalen Hurts.
I'm circling AJ.
Super Bowl MVP.
Saquon Barkley.
Super MVP.
Saquon.
But, I mean, hold
You
on.
can't have 15 circles
Wait,
on
time
offense.
out.
You can't.
I mean,
Look what you started,
But wait, on the offense, all right, so on the offense, we just circling one player.
He's not the first one.
AJ.
you're circling.
All right, so
Saquon. Lane Johnson.
So he did. So he did say you circling Purdy last.
Okay.
He
got it.
said last. He said you circling Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, the running back.
Right.
CMC.
Then he's the last one to go.
Fair. It's just, it's interesting to me when I look at all the highest paid quarterbacks, I'm like, there are about 4 who are the best players on their team.
Yeah.
They're about 4.
In the league.
But then everybody else is like, when I get to, I'm circling Goff after I look at Gibbs.
Yeah.
After I look at Amon Ra, and probably because of Jameson's speed, after I look at Jameson. Goff to me he's not like,
He's a
oh my
distributor of
God.
the football.
Exactly. He's a phenomenal distributor of that rock. But it's just a fascinating thought exercise when I looked at what Shady was saying regarding
what's
that.
your-
list.
But even a list, that's why I'm talking about. So every other position that gets highest paid players in their position, they got to be circled.
I know. And I think-
Only group that don't got to be circled is these quarterbacks. Like Trevor Lawrence, for you to even be, it's really embarrassing what the NFL got going on right now with these quarterbacks. How in the hell is Trevor Lawrence even up there?
Yeah.
Even Tua. Like, as much as we want to talk about Tua, Tyreek Hill, thank God you came to Miami in 305 to help them boys out. But come on, dog. Before the head coach got there and Tyreek, they was talking about him like, we want to get Tom Brady. We want to get these other quarterbacks because you're not that good. Let's keep going down the list. Now, I'm going to go against you with the Jared Goff.
Yes, sir.
I think Jared Goff makes that thing go. You say what you want. I don't know if any quarterback go down there and do that. He get that thing rolling.
I'd
and
say
when he doesn't
Goff
play
and
well,
Purdy are similar players, though. The way they
I don't
distribute
think
the
so.
Golf turned that thing.
The way they distribute the football, the way they make these layered throws, to me, they are
I see them similar. I know Shady doesn't. I know James doesn't.
They are like
know,
players.
dog. But it's just fascinating. Either way, Brock Purdy, you got a lot of pressure coming on you this season. Hey, and who else does? The Minnesota Vikings. They passed on Aaron Rodgers. They kept the rookie J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy started no games last year. So how much will the Vikings, a team that won 14 games, the most in the history of their franchise last year, how much will they regret passing on the first ballot Hall of Famer that is Aaron Rodgers? That's next. Don't forget to that every day.
a short second rounder, the same as a tall.
Morning, beautiful people. We're in the second topic of the day. Hey, Minnesota Vikings, will they regret not signing Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers, first ballot Hall of Famer to be, just signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the Vikings had 14 wins last season. 14. Most in the history of the franchise. They dominated the regular season, and now they are entrusting their team's success to a quarterback who missed all of last season with an injury and hasn't played a snap in the regular season yet, sitting with a bunch of NFL veterans up here on offense, and I know that y'all would feel a certain type of way if y'all trusted a 14-win team into the hands of a rookie that hadn't played a snap. James, starting with you, you made your mark catching passes from quarterbacks.
Can I hear what the quarterback has to say on this?
Go ahead, Q.
I want to hear what you got.
But here's the deal. Like, we got some unspoken rules on this show.
Okay.
And the unspoken rule with James is if it's an Aaron Rodgers topic,
Just start.
he leaves.
just start.
Prompter
That's why I wanna hear
says
what y'all
James
got to
Jones
say.
leaves.
Because, you know,
no. I want to
sometimes-
hear what you say and then react to what you say.
Like my dog says, sometimes you be flip-flop.
8 seasons with him, right?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? I just hope we all
say
have.
about him.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
no, I say
That's what
sometimes you be flip-flop.
I know.
Oh, okay.
That's why I want to hear him.
No.
That's
but
the
what
rule.
I'm saying is maybe I might be rubbing off on y'all because I just don't want to hear a take that all of a sudden the Vikings need Aaron. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
My answer is no. All right, listen. All right, ride with the young boy.
Yeah.
I do not think they are going to regret it. You drafted this dude 10th overall. Let him go out there and play. You did not know you were going to win 15, 14 games last year. You didn't know none of that. All right, you didn't know how well Sam Darnold was going to play. You drafted this dude 10th overall to develop him,
to be your franchise quarterback. That is all still on the table. Do not try to go out there and get an Aaron Rodgers for a one-year rental and slow this young player's development down for one more year. And then if he does go into the game next year and he doesn't play well, now you're set back even more as an organization. I absolutely love the decision for them to say we are going with this young boy. We are going to let him play. He has really good weapons around him. I'm a really good offensive coach in Kevin O'Connell. Let him go spin. Does that mean you're going to the Super Bowl this year or back to the same place you was last year or winning 14, 15 games? No. But you have to see what this young boy has. I think Aaron Rodgers would have slowed all that down. I love what they did going with him. They are not going to regret it. Even if he's bad, they are not going to regret it. You got to see what the 10th overall pick has.
You absolutely love the decision right now. Vikings fans absolutely love the decision right now. We might love the decision right now. For me, regret's a strong word, but you could say there could be some second guessing about it. And it's impossible to tell right now because we think and they think that J.J. McCarthy's going to be some type of guy and he's going to be the franchise quarterback. But I would second guess it if they miss the playoffs.
Of course.
Because the roster is built to win right now. They didn't think they were going to win a franchise record 14 wins last year, but they did. And in that time, they showed themselves that they have a roster to compete right now. I don't think you're ever going to regret not signing a 41-year-old quarterback, regardless of who his name is. And spinning it positive, I do think that Vikings fans can have a little bit of hope. And here's why I say that, is because what we have been hearing about from Minnesota and by Minnesota, the Vikings, is that they were going to make a decision regarding Rodgers after the spring. Well, guess what? It's after the spring. When did Aaron Rodgers sign? Just last week. That means that JJ is developing on schedule. That means that the Vikings did not want to go out there and they did not want to sign another guy. And he's hitting all the necessary offseason checkpoints. Otherwise, they would have felt they needed to sign Rodgers. The fact that they didn't need to sign Rodgers because it was Rodgers' first choice, that's a good sign for the Vikings fans. Now, he still has to go out there and he still has to play well, but I can imagine us having this conversation, and we're not. It's June the 10th, right? Right in the middle of the offseason. But if they don't make the playoffs, if they go 7-10, we're going to point back, I promise you, to, hey, is it the quarterback situation? Is it KOC not signing a veteran guy? Because they have a Lamborghini. I said Ferrari. They have a Lamborghini of a team right now, James Jones. They do. And so I do think J.J. McCarthy can live up to the hype. There's going to be some growing pains, but it's a fascinating conversation.
I don't know. You know what? They're not going to regret it. The only way you would regret it is if you were going to win the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. And you're not winning the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers this year because Aaron Rodgers has only been in one Super Bowl, best with James Jones back in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. Phenomenal quarterback. First ballot. Phenomenal quarterback. First ballot Hall of Famer. I believe the greatest thrower of the football in the history of the National Football League is Aaron Rodgers. But outside of winning a Super Bowl, to James's point, it's not worth stunting the development of a top 10 overall pick in J.J. McCarthy. Quick housekeeping, the Vikings franchise record for wins is 15, so just want to get on that. That's on me. But you're not going to regret it unless you were going to win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, of which I just don't think the Vikings were going to do. So it's not worth stunting the growth of a young bull. Why would you draft J.J. and draft him so early if you did not think he could have success early? J.J. McCarthy is looking at Jaden Daniels saying to himself, man, I could do that. Whether he could or couldn't, that's what he's saying. He's looking at Brock Purdy going to a Super Bowl in his second year and going to an NFC Championship game in his first year saying, well, I could do that. Whether he could or he couldn't is irrelevant. That's what he's saying. Give your top 10 pick the opportunity to go out there and prove why you drafted him in the top 10. Now, what's fascinating is Aaron Rodgers signed for backup quarterback money. You paid Sam Darnold $10 million last year. Aaron Rodgers signed for $13 million this year. So it is fascinating that I think if they wanted Rodgers, they would have just signed Rodgers because $13 million is backup quarterback money, all things considered. But if they trust JJ, ride with JJ.
They won't regret this decision. I mean, are we speaking because Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers? Because that ain't been what he done on the field lately, right? James going to show you some stats. I don't want to see no stats. Show me your wins. Because the last time I checked, he hasn't been to the playoffs in what?
3 years.
Last
seasons? Playoff win 5 years ago.
And 5 years ago, you got one win, right? And only way you regret this if Aaron Rodgers comes to the Vikings and they win a championship.
Right.
Brother got 4 MVPs. He's only even seen the Super Bowl once.
Yeah, you keep reminding us.
So when you was in your MVP days, you was going. You only went there once. So why when you 40, you going to go back? It don't even add up. And another thing, we keep forgetting that football is a great sport, but it's a business. When you take and you have an investment in a top 10 draft pick,
No doubt.
you got to play this guy. We all play the game. Yeah. Top 10 guy is going to play, right? And as I look at it, why not see what JJ got to offer? Correct. For you to go out there and do all your homework, you interview all these coaches, interview him, and do all this homework on him as a player, watch all that tape, and you decide to take him with the 10th pick, he got to play. Another thing is, the GM they have, they just signed a nice contract, the GM. So obviously he's doing something really, really well. So now,
Same coach, too.
Efficient GM, an efficient coach, you pay them this money because they are good, and now you want to second guess their decision making? They don't even add up. So ride with JJ. I think they'll be fine. It's a young bull game now.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Let the young bull do his thing.
Hey, speaking of being fine, the playoffs are tied 1-1 in the NBA Finals. That is Thunder, they got one. Pacers, they got one. How should we be feeling about the Stars heading into a pivotal Game 3? 82 games of the regular season, 17 games of the playoffs thus far, and this might be the most important one, and the most important conversation is after this commercial break. That's next, The Facility. Hey, the NBA Finals are tied 1-1. Enter in Rick Bucher. If you're talking anything NBA related, you better be talking to the basketball savant, what I would say a man who knows all things about all things basketball related. He knows everything there is to know except gambling. If you need any gambling advice, you stay as far away from Rick Bucher as possible.
Still carrying that.
What up, Slick? How are you, brother?
I'm good. I'm good.
It's
So
great
is
to
my
see you.
pocket.
All right, look, we're going to do something a little bit fun. I want to give emoji reactions to the different star players of the NBA Finals to let y'all know how we are currently feeling about them. First up, the MVP, SGA, Jaire Alexander, averaging 36 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists in his first 2 finals games. That is SGA. Shady, how should we be feeling about him? How do you
Job
feel about him?
finished? Job finished?
Job not done.
Pissed off. Mean face, mad face. You think Michael Jordan would be happy if they had home court advantage and they lost game 1? Pissed off.
Ooh, we took the other angle, and I like
on,
it.
man.
I like it.
Hey, for me, it's real simple. I'm seeing stars.
Yeah.
Y'all do realize SGA has more points than any player in the history of the NBA Finals through their first 2 finals games. The most ever. SGA, I'm seeing stars when I look at him. An MVP, he set the bar incredibly high. And through 2 games, Slick, he's lived up to it. Man.
Yeah, look, there's been a lot of guys that have been up and down in this series so far. Jaire Alexander
Not one.
is not one of them. I'm seeing stars, too. He has lived up to that MVP status. His scoring and his leadership has been impeccable in the way that he has driven this team.
I love what Shady did right there. I wish I could change mine. But I'm going star-eyed as well, too. It's crazy because, like, when they cut to the bench on timeouts, he the only one they don't toss the towel. He ain't sweat yet. He just get to a spot bucket. You know what I mean? Hey, you open, boom. I mean, they can't stop him, man. They better hurry up and figure out a game plan.
Moving on to Tyrese Halliburton. Some would suggest he has stopped himself. 15 points, 6 rebounds, and only 6 assists thus far for a player who's an Olympian, a player who's supposed to be a budding superstar. Shady, how you feel about Tyrese?
Man, who said he's been stopping himself?
Yeah.
You said that? I ain't say that. Anyway, I'm gonna say he's throwing up. Yeah. You cannot be happy with your performances. You might have got the last bucket in the first game, but you ain't been happy the way you've been playing. You've been boxed up, caged up.
Oh, man.
Put a blanket over him.
Caged and boxed?
Everybody going up. Oh, you too. I can't believe this.
Wow, this is a new man.
Through 2 games, it's been absolutely vomit-inducing. The 5 points you had through 3 quarters, Tyrese Halliburton, it's got to be more. You had 5 turnovers and 6 dimes, if I'm not mistaken. Putrid!
He switched on you overnight, huh, Slick?
Yeah, I went to the sad crying emoji. Not for Tyrese Halliburton, but actually for my friend Emmanuel Ocho because he hits his wagon to that dude. Look, I almost went with the zippered mouth because here's the reality. I've seen this from Tyrese Halliburton before, and he has responded. So I don't want to judge purely on the game 2. He did hit the game winner against game 1. I think he was a little more effective than maybe the numbers would have said. But I've seen him respond and lead his team to this point, so I don't want to close the door on it.
Well, I took your emoji because I went with the zipper mouth because I don't really got nothing good to say right now. Only thing I will say is we're in the finals. And you're supposed to be the best player in your team. And you just came off of a series to where you didn't even win MVP. and you came and started these first 2 games like that, so I'm gonna be quiet.
Next up, J-Dub, Jalen Williams, All-Star, All-NBA player, the number 2 star on the Oklahoma City Thunder. A lot of points, but a lot of shots. 2-5, how you feel about him?
Zip that mouth up, dog. Go out there and play. You know, he's up and down right now. Zip your mouth up and go play. Go get yours. You locking up more defense. We need a little bit more consistency on that offensive side. Just keep doing what you're doing. Close that mouth and let's go play. Steal this win, Indiana.
Sometimes if you don't know something, you need to be slow to speak and quick to listen. I don't know, so I'm just...
You zip it.
Okay. I'm not gonna hold back. I'm yakking on this. Man, come on.
Really?
You are their other all-star. You're supposed to be the scorer, and you're shooting 30-some% and 22% from three-point range, and you are forcing shots. Like,
Yes.
there's some good things that he's done, but overall, it's making me question, like, you're not outplaying Andrew Nembhard or Aaron Neesmith, and you're supposed to be the all-star. So, not good enough from Jalen Williams.
Man, well, I just went with the cool because he's not outplaying Nembhard and them boys, but he is outplaying Halliburton, and that's their best player. So if our second best player is outperforming y'all best player, he playing cool.
Yeah, that's true.
He playing cool.
You good?
He playing all right.
Let's get back to the Pacers. Pascal Siakam is the only player on the Pacers that has a championship in 2019 with the Raptors. Shady McCoy, he's brought his experience to the Pacers, but how do you feel about him so far in the finals?
Right. Let's zip this thing up also. Yeah, let's keep this thing quiet. Look, we stole game 1, right? Nobody really played great. We played all like college kids, right? Everybody just tripping in and giving a little this, little that. So I'm gonna just say, zip it up, go out here and get a big win, then you can start smiling and talking and all that. But until then, just like that.
I am furious. I'm upset. Pascal, you were the person along with Thomas Bryant, but he didn't play any significant minutes in the championship with the Nuggets. You got finals experience. It's Halliburton's first time at the big stage. Like, I get Halliburton being nervous for 1 game, not 2 games. Pascal, I get Neesmith. I get him being nervous. I get Mathurin. I get McConnell. I get these guys being nervous. But you, 19, 15, I need more. Where was the 39-point game you had against the Knicks? I need that in the NBA Finals, Pascal. I need that to show up in Game 3. Until then, I'm upset.
Yep. I'm right there with you. He's their leading scorer. You can't have a minus 15. He's got to win his spot. And look, Alex Caruso is the only other guy in this series who's played meaningful minutes and won a ring, right? And he's playing like it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Pascal Siakam is not. You've got to be leading this team, and the fact that he's had 2 okay games, this ain't the time for that.
I'm cool. Put it again, sunglasses on. I mean, Shady keeps saying college team. That's how I'm looking at them. These dudes is role players we talking about. They're not superstar players. So if you giving me 17, I don't expect Siakam to get 30 every night. I don't. I expect Siakam to have about 20 points a game and do what he's doing. He got 17, 8, and 4. That's cool.
That's him?
That's him.
That's cool. Hey, let's talk about this, because this game might be won and lost by the minds, not necessarily the players, but Coach Mark Daigneault, the coach of the Thunder. Shady, how you feel about him in the final?
Coach of the Thunder or Rick Carlisle?
Going to Thunder first.
Okay, Thunder first. Yeah, zip it up, dog. Zip it up. You know why? Because, y'all the best team in basketball, correct? The record-wise. You let the college squad come in there and steal that game. You let the whole way through the game. After the last couple of seconds, they came back and won in the 4th quarter. And you the coach? You the coach. You need to quiet up. Yeah. Quiet up, dog.
James, mama always told me,
What'd she tell you?
if you ain't got nothing nice to say,
Hey, shut your mouth.
don't say nothing at all.
Nothing at all, man. Zip it up.
I'm right there with you. I don't. He's trying too hard. Like, switching up the starting lineup, coming into the game. Like, you're the best team in the league. This has worked for you all year. Why are we trying to be preemptive when it comes to that? If you look at game 1, he lost his challenge very early on. Yeah. And I'm a little tired of every time there's a play that goes against the OKC Thunder, I get the. I don't need to see that. I just don't need to see that anymore. All right?
Well, I got 3 sunglasses in a row. This is his first finals?
First one.
I tried to ask AJ if they had like a head scratcher or
You're an easy grader.
What about the eye, the white eyes?
Yeah.
Because he is doing some questionable things. You know, you switch up the lineup game one. Can we at least see how it looked like? You know, and then you are wasting challenge. But I said, cool. You won one. You still got the better team. You're doing all right.
Acting like he Phil Jackson or somebody. You're not Phil, dog.
2-5. Let's end it with this one. The Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
Yeah, he's smiling, chilling with the shades on. He got his Louis Vuitton joints on, you know what I mean? Because when he's doing his job, listen, the Big Bag Thunder with the MVP, I stole a game. I did that. So he's doing his job.
Have y'all ever played, maybe it's spades, maybe it's poker, maybe it's hearts, maybe it's tongue, maybe it's whatever card game you playing, and you know you got somebody right where you want them? Like they think they about to steal a book, and you already like, you don't even realize I'm about to cut that when they come around the corner. I'm talking spades talk right now. Maybe you know you sitting on another backhanded ace, and you just start laughing. Like, y'all don't know what's about to happen. That's what Rick Carlisle is doing right now. The moment the Thunder didn't start Hartenstein in game one, the same Thunder that were 12-4 in the playoffs had the best record in the regular season by starting Hartenstein the majority of the end of the season. And now you got scared and we ain't even stepped on the court yet. And then we stole game one from you. Carlisle, I believe, is laughing being tied up 1-1 because as it pertains to him and Dagnall, he's laughing.
Yeah, even though he's looked angry most of the series, mostly because his team's down by 20 a little too often, I gave him the shades too. Like he's on easy street. Look, he's playing with house money.
Yeah.
They weren't even supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And we come in and he's got the other dude. What do I got to do? I'm up against Rick Carlisle. And then they house you in game two, right? He goes, you know what? I'm gonna pull the plug early. You ain't gonna feel as good as you should about this game because I'm gonna act as if, yeah, we gave you this one.
Yeah, he should be smiling with the sunglasses on too. I agree, Slick, because win, lose, draw, coach well, coach bad, we're gonna talk about him good.
Yeah.
You got this team here,
that's true,
and
that's
Rick
true.
Carlisle, the whole playoffs, heck of a job. So he should be on the plane, the buses, all that with the shades on, chilling.
This might be my new favorite segment. Hey, we need to add some more emojis, please. Can we get the wide-eyed
Yes,
emoji?
wide eyes.
Can we get Rome?
And cry
Wide-eyed
though.
emoji,
Because what
please?
makes you laugh sometimes makes you cry. We need that, yeah.
Yeah, let's get the
Them
crying
tears together.
emoji, please.
Little thinking one, too.
Yeah, let's get the little thinking emoji, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hard eyes.
No, we might be going a little too far.
Lady,
now.
relax.
Oh no.
Keep that in yourself.
No, I'm saying if
Keep that in your cell phone.
Okay.
No more emoji requests from Shady. I
the wrong
don't know what's
NBA.
coming
That's
next.
the wrong NBA.
I don't know what's coming.
you can't love somebody's game, can't love somebody's performance. See, y'all gotta stop trying to down my spiritual growth.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? Let me live. Let me free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't hold me back.
Don't hold you
God
back.
dang. You know?
You're growing.
My spiritual growth is up here.
Amen.
I need to max my intensity.
That's my fault, because I instantly
Because my vibrations
Yeah.
is up there, fellas.
Hallelujah.
So we need the one with the halo
on me.
too.
Come on now.
That's all
Praying
right.
hands,
I
cross
instantly-
hands.
yeah, I instantly
Hey, look, I got one.
man.
The black hand. Yeah.
Oh.
A brother have a great. Y'all gotta see, match my intensity, man. Don't slow me down.
That's an emoji?
Yeah, it's emoji. You not see the black emoji?
I thought
It's yellow with the black
I
hand.
know it's just the hand, but I thought
No, you gotta hold on to it and then slide to the right.
Yeah, it's a yellow man with the
I
face.
know how to get to the black hand.
he's old. Yeah, he's right.
I thought it was he had a little emoji with a little man on his
It's okay, yo. James is so old. If somebody says something funny in the group chat, he'll say H-A-H-A.
What's that?
Like, ha, ha, ha. Aaron Rodgers is gonna put the laughing emoji. Brother old now. Brother old.
Don't have the people.
Brother old, dog.
Don't have the world believe.
Can I just say, like, I appreciate that you're taking over.
You know what I'm saying? You see
Right
what I'm saying? Hey, he had the zip emoji over here once you started talking.
Amen.
What NFC North quarterback is not gonna vote fresh?
Slick ain't young at all. Whoa, man.
Slick said, I do appreciate that.
That was a good one right there.
That was fun, cool. NFC North, jam-packed with quarterbacks. Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, J.J. McCarthy. They're all the starters, but the spotlight might be brighter, even brighter for one of them this season. You got Aaron Rodgers gone. Jordan Love, he stepped in now. I don't know why I just thought about Aaron Rodgers. Jay, let me ask you this. Which NFC quarterback do you think is under the most pressure? NFC North.
Yeah, number one overall pick.
Yeah.
They brought in every possible weapon for you. They just got 3 interior new offensive linemen, Jonah Jackson, Joe Thuney, Drew Dowman. They just drafted a tight end, number 1. They already have a really good tight end. They drafted a receiver in the 2nd round.
Luther.
They went out and they signed DJ Moore. They drafted Rome Odunze last year. They have DeAndre. It's got to be Caleb Williams.
A lot of
Look,
weapons.
they've done everything in their power to surround Caleb Williams with what they deem an elite, talented offense. From the offensive line group, you look at it, not a lot of holes, right? Receiver group, okay, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden. Tight end group, and then they go out and they get you probably the most sought-after head coach in the last 5 years. And that head coach is Ben Johnson. So they give you an offensive guru who is, I don't think he's finished under top 5 in total offense since he's been in Detroit. And so everything that this franchise has done has been to surround the number 1 overall pick, which, by the way, didn't make the playoffs last year, which, by the way, didn't look like the number 1 overall pick last year. You do all of that. So the internal pressure and then the external pressure, and then you're in Chicago where you've never had a 4,000-yard passer or 30-plus touchdowns passing in a season. Tell me there's a guy with more pressure. It just doesn't make sense because, to me, it's without a doubt, it's Caleb Williams.
Shady, how you drive your car when it's just you by yourself? You know what I'm saying? You 10 and 2, you here with it, you upright.
Nah, I would never did that.
Never ever did that.
Never did that with it, right?
Well, for
If this
sure,
trigger
for
lean
sure.
back a little more, yeah.
No question.
Put that Biggie in, that, you know what I mean, that
question.
50 Cent in there,
Yeah, I'm with it.
Jay-Z, oh,
Yep,
you know
I'm
what I
with
mean?
it. I'm with it. Okay, now how you drive your car if your mom and pop?
Beep, beep, yo! What up, yo?
How you drive the whip if mom and pop in the car?
Same way.
Nah, my mom, she be bugging. Let me put the seatbelt on.
Seatbelt.
Still one hand, though.
No doubt.
Now, the seat's
Setting up.
up.
You
Yeah,
setting
yeah,
up.
respectful.
No
you know
doubt,
what I mean?
no doubt. It's more pressure when you drive a whip if you got precious cargo in it. You feel me? Like, I'm here, respectfully,
Yeah.
Yeah,
if it's by myself.
Oh, you
Mom and
texting
pop in the car?
driving, dog.
Mom and pop in the car? I'm here with it. Because I got precious cargo in the whip. I know how much pressure I have when I got them in the car with me. They've been there on the earth longer. They've been around longer.
Yeah.
That's how J.J. McCarthy got to be feeling. J.J. McCarthy got Justin Jefferson in the car with him. J.J. McCarthy's driving a vehicle that has Jordan Addison. J.J. McCarthy, he's driving a vehicle that has Aaron Jones. J.J. McCarthy is driving a vehicle with both older passengers in the whip, and he's driving a vehicle with precious cargo in the whip. If J.J. was driving just a random old whip with nobody in it, lean back, big in the car, hey, yo. But when you got precious cargo in that car with you, it's a lot of pressure. I'm thinking about when I drive my car with my parents and me, I am here because I know who's in the car with me, and they got more experience than I do driving. So they're gonna be correcting me if I make a mistake. Son, why didn't you turn? Why didn't you signal? Like, they gonna be correcting me. So I'm cognizant of the pressure J.J. McCarthy has on him this season. Hard to disagree with Caleb Williams, obviously, but you are driving a 14-win team with Justin Jefferson, Kevin O'Connell, and everybody is dependent upon how you driving. You better sit up straight, and you better be a 10 and 2.
Don't be
That's
texting
a
and
good
driving.
one, man. I ain't, that's a good one. My dad be more chill. My mom, like, boy, why you? So, it's Caleb Williams. Easy one for me.
Yeah.
No, you're the number 1 pick. Probably the most hyped up player in the last, 15 years. To be a number 1 pick overall quarterback. And also, I don't really care as much about him not having success his rookie season, because it's hard to be a rookie and play well. I've been there, I started. It's hard as hell to do. And he didn't look great at times either, so that's expected. But, yo, second year, what did they do over there? The GM, the head coach, they go get you a really, really good coach in Ben Johnson, who's excellent, smart. You want an offense, that's the guy you go get. Him, Andy Reid, Sean McVay, maybe Kyle Shanahan, those are the type of guys he's in, that type of class. Number 2 is they go out to get players. Not just regular good players, good starters. No, they got some all-pro players, some all-pro linemen. You got some good wide receivers. Drafted you some top elite wide receivers also to go with that. So they put everything around you because all the years and for Chicago has been they don't have the players. They don't have the right quarterback. Well, they're doing everything in their power to go out there and get a generational talent quarterback, go out there and get a generational talent coach, offensive mind, go out there and get the linemen to protect you and wide receivers to catch the ball and make plays for you, and the running back in the backfield make plays for you. So they're doing everything for this quarterback, and now it's time to give back to you because I think hype comes in when you think a player is so good that you expect so much. So it ain't about him having a bad year as a rookie. It's more of we expect you to be great in your future.
Yeah.
And that's why I think all the pressure is on Caleb Williams.
Yeah. All them is good. I'm going to Green Bay.
Oh.
That's not a bad one either, though.
I'm going to Jay Love. I know how special Jordan Love is, but we don't. Right? The world don't. Right? You coming from Brett Favre, who don't miss games, who's first ballot Hall of Famer, to Aaron Rodgers, who did not miss a lot of games, who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and now to you. And you have the same amount of talent, but number one, can you be available? You have a Super Bowl caliber roster. Just like Caleb Williams, they have done the same for Jordan Love. You upgrade the offensive line with Banks from the San Francisco 49ers. You have Jaden Reed, you have Romeo Doubs, you have Josh Jacobs, you have Tucker Kraft, who's a really good tight end, you have Christian Watson, you have Dontavius Wicks. And they said, you know what? You need another one.
First rounder.
And they go get you a first rounder in Matthew Golden with speed to stretch the field. You have an elite run game. You have a really good offensive line. You got a plethora of wide receivers out there. It's time for you to deliver. It's time for you to show the world that you are special. Number one, the pressure's up because if Caleb don't make the playoffs, all good with that. We just want to see you play well. You can't afford none of that. The Packers is a playoff team and should be in the playoffs, and they are going to go as Jordan Love goes. I got a lot of pressure on Jordan Love this year, man. He got to deliver, man. He's too good. He's too good.
So just an interesting question for you guys up here. What happens of all these three guys, right? Caleb, JJ, and Jordan. What happens if they don't have success this year? Who on this show are we going to be the loudest about?
Caleb was the number one overall pick, so Caleb for me.
Just if they don't have success, who are we talking about the most?
I don't know. If Jordan Love played bad, we gonna talk about that.
But to your point, you pick. But
Like not make the playoffs bad.
If they don't have success.
If this team don't have success and don't make the playoffs, I think it's Jordan Love. Because the expectations is higher.
And the only reason I asked
got more money, too.
That's how I formatted my answer. I'm like, if they don't have success this year with everything they built around Caleb Williams, right? All three. There's no wrong answer here.
That's a good one.
But if they don't have success, bro, we're up here leading the blocks, leading A block with next year. Is Caleb Williams a franchise guy? Is Caleb Williams this? Is Caleb Williams that? He's had 2 full years. And by the way, the number 2 overall pick, we're talking about him top 5 in the NFL.
That's true.
They took him 1, and they didn't make the playoffs in back-to-back years. That's why I chose.
Well, just think about it the other way, though.
Yeah?
With what this Packers roster look like.
Oh, you're right. And they paid him 50.
They might be talking about the coach being gone. And I'm just keeping it a buck. And I love LaFleur.
Oh.
Okay.
After this year, you think
They
so?
already, LaFleur, my dude. But this is a really good Packers team, man, and the quarterback is really good. If he could stay on the field and stay healthy, they could be a team like. I think it will be some questions like that for sure.
Question that I'm asking is, will the Pacers win another game? They already stole 1 from the Thunder. I think they got a couple more dubs left in them. But somebody here at the desk thinks they've already won their last one. The Pacers, I think, are in the driver's seat of this NBA Finals series, going to Indiana tied 1-1. All they got to do is win one at home, and they still control the series. But will they win another one? Listen for somebody's radical answer after the break.
Imagine this. The best pasta sauce you have ever tasted sits abandoned on a plate. Wasted sauce. That is a tragedy. If only you had used Barilla al Bronzo pasta. Its bronze-cut texture holds your sauce and scoops up every last drop. The Italians call that scarpetta. Capture sauce the Italian way. Barilla al Bronzo. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
Talking Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton is yet to get going, but the Pacers still got a game. Tyrese Halliburton right there, a turnover just because of the pressure. Either way, Pacers tied 1-1, going back to Indiana. I find this fascinating, however, though. The Pacers have yet to win a Game 3. All 3 of their Game 3s have taken place at home because I believe they've been the road team in every series. They've won the first 2 games of every series thus far. This series, they've only won game 1. However, they've yet to win a game 3. Slick, will the Pacers win another finals game? Many people are still sleeping on the Pacers, heavy underdogs. Y'all might be asking, why are we asking this question? Well, because the Pacers aren't supposed to be here. Many people suggested they'd either get swept or gentlemen swept. Remember the Philadelphia 76ers with Allen Iverson? They stole the first game as heavy underdogs, and the Lakers went on to win the next 4 games, and gentlemen swept them. Many people suggest this could happen to this Pacers team. I don't believe so. What do you think?
I believe that they're going to win at least one more, if not 2. And look, I've been listening to Shady and to James in particular.
That's your first mistake. That's your first mistake, Slick.
The first name he said.
I've been listening to Shady and James, but all bad sentences start.
Saying you should have said Shady, that's it. Don't add James. That might, that's a mistake.
Not what you meant.
Mistake listening to Shady.
No, but raising the question, like why do Acho and Slick believe? I call myself by my own nickname. That ain't right. That's TV. Why are you guys so confident in the Pacers? Why do you think this is going to be a series? OKC's been leading for like
every quarter.
95 and a half of the 96 minutes that have been played. And the reason is because I'm looking at the fact that we talk a lot about OKC's defense. And the reality is the Pacers have shot the ball great. They shot it better than anybody has against Oklahoma City in these playoffs. They're shooting 46% overall. They're shooting 40% from 3. They haven't taken care of the ball. And if I look at game 2, they had 1 bad quarter. They've outscored them in the second half of both games. This game, the difference really has been not the stars, because that's not how the Pacers are built. It's the role players for Oklahoma City have outplayed the Pacers role players. You can't have Alex Caruso averaging 15 points. You can't have Aaron Wiggins going for 18. When you look at the comeback in the fourth quarter of game 1, that wasn't fueled by Pascal Siakam.
No.
And by Tyrese Halliburton.
No, Nembhard,
it was Andrew Nembhard.
Toppin,
it was Benedict Mathurin. It was Miles Turner. So do I believe that going home, this is a different circumstance. I know they haven't won game 3. They also were going home 2-0.
Correct.
It's really easy to go home and think, oh, we're in charge and let up, and you can't afford to do that. Role players play better at home. Role players are the secret sauce to the Pacers being able to compete in this series, and that is why I expect they're going to win at least one more game.
Well, the role players, you said play great at home. What about the superstar players? When they play good at? On the road, where do they play good at? I'm asking. Because I don't really, I'm trying to figure this thing out.
Both places, but it's not predictable. Well, but the stars don't play to the level of the stars of OKC. That's the reality. I'm not expecting Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam to match what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is doing. I don't expect them to score 35, but I expect Benedict Mathurin to outplay Alex Caruso coming off the bench.
Oh, okay.
That's what I expect.
Well, my question is, while I asked that, because we're talking about the role players, and role players matter. They matter. They play a nice role. But the game is about the stars, right? That's what it's about.
But
the reason why the Pacers are there, because you say that my man's all-star now, Halliburton.
Yeah, but
right?
I would say
Siakam, he's supposed to be this second guy. He's supposed to be number 2 on the team. You should be in an NBA team. You number 2 option. You kind of a star somewhere, somehow, in somebody's eyes.
Okay.
I'm looking for him though, because as I look at this whole thing from game 1 to game 2, I haven't seen a Pacers score more than 20 points yet.
Right. But that's my point. But they won game 1.
That's your point.
In spite of that.
Well, my point is, I don't see a team winning games unless all the team is play so bad and make so many mistakes and let you get back in the game. You ain't scoring 20 points. What are we talking about?
Who made the most mistakes in game 1?
It gotta be.
Indiana Pacers had, 25 turnovers, 19 in the first half?
Yeah, those are forced, though. Those ain't just turnovers.
Some of them are, some of them are not.
I can't buy that, because when I watch them play through the whole playoffs, they won't turn the ball over. But as soon as you play this team, you turn the ball over. Every team that plays OKC, what do? Slick, they turn the ball over. So what I'm telling you is, that ain't about mistake. That's that defensive pressure. And I'm asking you, when you say win a game, I don't see them winning no more games. it's over. Maybe have a close game. Yeah, it's over, man. Yeah. Think about it. This is not the NCAA double tournament, man. We not freaking this Cinderella team beating Duke or North Carolina. We're not seeing that. You talking about an NBA team, we asked about superstars, and these brothers is not even putting up 20 points, and we talking about beating OKC? Yeah. Listen, I'll tell you what, man.
I feel a dinner bet.
I'll take that bet. Man. I'll take that bet.
You saying that they're not going to win?
Yo, listen, you know my name. You know what I do. What's going on?
I like to eat. Another game or not?
I got money. I like to eat. What you want to do?
All right, let's do it.
Make it easy on yourself. Let me know.
There goes.
All right, you say okay. Dude's scoring 20 points a game.
He came all the way to you, too.
Give me a hug, then. Give me a hug. Quick question. Can I bring the homies? I like to bring the homies. Can I bring a date? I know you got big
homie plural?
Yeah, it's going to be like 4 people there.
Table of 7.
Man, they winning at least one more 2-5. And the reason is...
His hands is crossed when he said, why your hands crossed saying that?
In a 6-game series, I believe this series going at least 6, the Thunder have yet to have their just bad game. They're just shots not falling, things not going well. They just yet to have their bad game. You could suggest the Pacers already had their bad game in game 1. Now, Shady could be right. Maybe it was a defensive player. I would suggest it was probably being in the NBA Finals. I would probably suggest that's what led to 25 turnovers. It would probably being in the biggest stage any of these players have ever played on, because Tyrese Halliburton didn't play in the Olympic Games. I don't think he logged a minute. So I would suggest those 25 turnovers came from being in the NBA Finals game 1 more than even the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the Thunder have yet to have their just game where shots aren't falling. That game will come. Whether it's 3, whether it's 4, whether it's 5, that game will come. And when that game comes, that's when I believe the Pacers will get another dub. Yeah. I don't know if the Pacers will win game 3. I believe the Pacers will win 1 game at home. Pacers are winning at least 1 more. I see them winning 2 more.
Well, before I say it's over and they don't win another game, quick question real quick. I
didn't answer all the questions.
No.
Damn.
Has the Pacers, what can the Pacers do to play better besides not turn the ball over?
That's the biggest element. You're shooting 46%, 40% from 3.
So you
just need to get more shots.
Gotcha.
You can't be turning the ball over in transition.
So you feel like they played really good minus the turnovers?
I think defensively they can play better. I think their role players defensively can. Look, I mean, Pascal Siakam can't be a minus 15.
Gotcha.
As their arguably one of their best defenders.
Gotcha. Has OKC played their best?
He's just going. Okay.
The main reason why.
Wait. We need an answer, James. Hold up. Don't leave and say no words till we get an answer. Put the closed emoji face. Put that on. We need an answer, Slick. He asked you a question. Ask him again, James. He ain't hear you. I couldn't hear his answer.
Has OKC played their best?
Hey, yo, it's the lawyer James right here. I said, hey, back in the day, though, we forgot on the show.
How many questions?
I said James up with them lawyer questions. He caught now, though. He caught.
Yeah, he caught now. So we know the answer to Slick.
Cross-examination.
We know the answer. So the main reason why I say that is because
you got a limit on how many questions you can ask, okay?
OKC ain't played their best. I feel like the Pacers, minus the turnovers, and I feel like that's an OKC problem too, has really played good basketball, and they've led for 0.3 seconds in the series, and it just happened to be that shot won the game.
Come on now.
As I watch the game, I'm still trying to figure out ways to where they could win. I just don't know. It's super easy for Shea. He's getting to any spot he wants to get to on the basketball court. He is not working as hard as Brunson and them had to work. He's just getting to his spots, boom, bucket, boom, assist. It's way too easy. Like, this stuff is just way too easy. So I understand role players play better at home and all that, but it just looks like a lopsided matchup right now when you just strictly watch the basketball game of these two dudes playing against each other. It just looks lopsided right now, and I got to go with OKC.
And here's my one thing with that.
And one.
I can give you, I'll give Shea 30, 35, whatever he gets. I can't let the ancillary guys
I agree.
go off.
Like
That, to me,
Caruso
is the
can't go
difference.
for 20. If Caruso goes for 20, you losing every time.
Caruso going for 20, Aaron Wiggins going for 18. But those guys off the bench, if you're doing a good job on Jalen Williams, you can't then afford to have Caruso and Wiggins.
Caruso outscored every Pacers player in Game 2, if I'm not mistaken, with his 20.
Yes.
And a lot of the
That is
shots,
correct.
if you watch them, a lot of them was corner threes, wide open
But that's what I'm
because of
saying.
Shea.
Y'all keep saying that, right? And it sounds easy to the people, but it's not that easy because you got to help out Shea. Or unless it's like, you know what? Go ahead, it's going
you
one with
don't.
no help.
No, you don't.
Because when he's dribbling, doing his thing, get to a spot, you helping out, boom.
Now, you're saying no, you don't.
Resist that. You got to resist that. Stay home.
Well.
If
you
he
did
can
say
score
that, though,
50, if
before
he
the
can score
series
50 and
started.
beat you,
Yeah.
have at
Shady
it.
said that before the series started.
I
Shea
said
got
that.
to go for 50.
He got over 50 and don't let nobody else score.
don't let nobody else.
And the only thing is, the Thunder, they can play a lot better. And this is what they do. They force turnovers. They got the most forced turnovers in the NBA this season.
They do.
God, man, listen, I don't know what it is about OKC. I love what I see.
No, we all like OKC. I just think.
How much, though? That's the question.
Not as much as you.
That's the question.
Hey, when we return, what we might not like, however, is the Browns' approach to their quarterback position. They said that there is no starter. They want to try to roll out all 4 quarterbacks. One of them is Shedeur Sanders, another Super Bowl MVP, Joe Flacco, another third-round pick in Dylan Gable, and the last one, first-round pick, Kenny Pickett. But do we love or hate that approach? Just next.
I think everybody wants to go to start.
Hey, the Browns have started mandatory minicamp today. But the dilemma is they're rolling out 4 quarterbacks and they won't announce a starter. One is the rookie sensation that is Shedeur Sanders. Another is Joe Flacco. He's a Super Bowl MVP. Another first-round pick, Kenny Pickett. But before the rookie sensation that everybody talks about, they drafted a third-round pick in rookie and Dylan Gable.
They did?
I promise you, Shady, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. Chase, 14 years you spent in the NFL, which means you've been a part of 14 mini camps. You have seen several approaches to the quarterback position, but you have never seen one quite as chaotic as this.
Yeah.
Do you love or hate the Browns' quarterback approach?
Both. Let me explain. I hate it for the team. And let me explain it. The Browns are not supposed to be good. If they get to 5 to 6 wins this year, regardless of who's starting, based on their division, I think it's a successful season. It's weird to say, but that's just how it is with the Browns, okay? When you have 4 potential starting quarterbacks, you have none. And you can't even begin to evaluate these 4 guys unless they're getting first-team reps. Shedeur was talked about last week, not getting any first-team reps. I don't know if Dylan has or not, right? It's Flacco and Kenny Pickett. But if you're saying it's an open competition, cut it down to 2. And I don't think that cut down to 2 for actually competing for the starting job will come until game. So it's too early to tell. So I hate that for the team because evaluation, it's hard to evaluate quarterbacks in shorts and helmets on June the 10th, right? I think you can separate yourself. And the reason why I love it specifically for Shedeur Sanders, right? Going into the draft, he was on this mountaintop. He was supposed to be the number 1 or number 2 best quarterback in the draft. He was supposed to do this. He was supposed to do that. And look, I think some people tore him down. He slid to the 5th round. There was some anonymous sources, which I absolutely hate. We can all agree he's not a 5th round talent. His talent is somewhere in the 1st, 2nd round. So when you get a guy like that, now he has the opportunity to work himself back up, right? He was sort of humbled, to say the least, by some people out there that decided, hey, we don't think you deserve to go in the 1st, 2nd round. So he goes into the 5th round. But if you look at the path for him to become a starting quarterback in this league, especially with the Cleveland Browns, it doesn't get any more clear. Like this is probably the best spot other than the Pittsburgh Steelers for him to go in and to go win a job. When have you ever heard a coach say, and we've all played a lot of years, like 39 years of total, when have you ever heard a coach say it's a 4-man competition? Huh? You have a Super Bowl MVP, you have a 1st-round pick, you have a 3rd-round pick, but Shedeur Sanders has just as good a chance to win the starting job as all those guys. To me, I don't think it's realistic for Shedeur to start right away, but I do believe he will be the starter at some point this year, and that's what we've said, right? And if you look at the offense that Kevin Stefanski runs, I think that Shedeur fits it. Not that Dylan doesn't, but I think Shedeur is a under-center, play-action, pocket passer. If he can do well enough and he can show enough in preseason games, there's no reason why to think he can't start.
James, love or hate the approach?
I love it. And the more and more we talk about this situation,
I start to hate it. Because as I'm sitting here and I just heard Chase talking, that's a really good take, but it just keeps letting me know, because I keep hearing 5 games, 5 games, 5 games, 3 games, 3 games, 3 games. That's what you're going to get with Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco. So eliminate them. I'm just eliminate them. If these 2 rookies go out there and they play well in preseason, put these rookies in the game. You guys have been struggling at the quarterback position for a very, very, very long time. Now you're playing with house money. If you put these young boys out there and you let them go play, and whichever one wins the battle and goes out there and start week 1, if they don't deliver, then you know what you got to do for next year. You know what Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco is going to bring. Joe Flacco is 41 years old like me, 40 years old. So if he's going to bring you 5 games, why is he even here? And I'm being real. Why is he even here? You should let the young boys spin. Let these boys battle this thing out in preseason. If Shador plays better than him, he goes out there. If Dylan Gabriel plays better than him, that's what y'all want because y'all drafted him first, he goes out there. But if you're only going to win 3 to 5 games, why are we even worried about these veterans? And that's just me being real. Get these young boys ready to go play some football. It is going to be a bunch of number 12 jerseys out there in Cleveland. We already know that. Let him go out there. It's going to be great for the NFL, and let him go out there and develop and learn. I would eliminate these 2 veterans, man, and I would see who wins this battle out of the young bulls and go out there and play. That would be my approach.
I don't think there's enough space for this competition. That's why I don't like it. Yep. You can't rotate 4 dudes with the ones. That's why, if y'all remember last week, Shador was the odd man out. Everybody got first-team reps except Shador Sanders. Next week, it might be Dylan Gabriel, the odd man out. The next week, it might be Joe Flacco, the odd man out. There's just not enough first-team repetitions to go around for 4 guys. And so now the player that doesn't end up inevitably starting is taking first-team reps from the dude that will inevitably start. You're just wasting time. At minimum, eliminate one of them. To James's point, if it's going to be Flacco eliminated, eliminate Flacco. That's fine. But eliminate one of them. I don't genuinely care which one you eliminate. But there's no need to have this competition with 4 different cues because now you're stealing reps from somebody that's definitely going to need them moving forward. Kenny Pickett doesn't have a lot of quality experience in the NFL. Quality. He has experience. It hasn't been very quality. None with Cleveland. Gabriel, Shador, none with Cleveland. They could all use the repetitions. Instead, you got to divvy it up by 4.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate the whole movement, what they got going on over there. You have a room full of quarterbacks that's not proven. You got a room full of quarterbacks that's there's no starter in the room, to be respectful to them guys. There's no real starter. So why you talked about giving everybody, equal reps at being the number 1 quarterback. I liked that when I heard that. But then when we get to it, we're not doing it. So my thing is, cut the malarkey, dog. Please, seriously. Cut the malarkey. Let's get to it because, okay, right, so Flacco, older player, looked terrible last year, right? It had a good career kind of for his, won a championship and all that. But them days are over with. It's time to move on with the new, out with the old. What are you going to get from him playing? 3-game, 4-game win? What are we doing with that? Instead of getting some young players that has some type of talent, let's see what they got. Let's move him out the picture. Then the 3rd rounder, Dylan, I like the respect part of, okay, you was the 3rd round draft pick, even though we all know that you couldn't touch Shador with a pole big as Shaq. We know that. Because nobody said anything about him in college at all. But cool. You being respectful to him because he's the 3rd round pick overall. So maybe he starts in front of Shador. But let these guys get equal reps at being the number 1, playing with the number 1 wide receivers, playing with the number 1 tight ends, like seeing what that feels like, the speed of going against the number 1 defense. There's no pads on, so there's no real pressure. But I like to see how fast these guys can think, when we are going with the ones. So I always think like, you got to get an advantage somewhere. When I say that, meaning before we get the pads on, before we get to preseason, before we get to camp, why not see what these guys got right now? Yeah. Let him go against the ones. Does he throwing picks? Does he read fast? Coaching tape.
That's fair.
You get what I'm saying? Go against the 4s. I'm not even being disrespectful.
And really quick.
No, real quick. When I was playing all that and OTAs, I maybe once or twice against the 3rd team, 14. That's easy. I'm not learning nothing about playing with them dudes. That dude's gonna get cut. Going against the ones, you can at least see something, even if it's in shorts. I just hate the game because we all know Shador Sanders is one of the best. Listen, players, I don't know about y'all, but I've been talking to players and I've been talking to coaches. Not to get into no names, but I know people everywhere. And they been saying, yo, this young kid ain't no 5th round draft pick. He's looking really, really good. But it's hard to see that when I'm going against the 4s.
And my thing, and the main thing I say, eliminate 2 of them and let them young boys go, is because we're not going that much in training camp.
The ones are not taking that many reps. So if you telling me we rotating 4 quarterbacks, that means it's more reps for Jerry Jeudy. It's more reps for the ones O-line. It's more reps for all these dudes. They don't need all them reps. That's how people get hurt. So narrow this thing down to these 2 quarterbacks. You know what you're getting from Joe Flacco. You know what Kenny Pickett brings. Put these young boys out there, man, and let them go compete for this starting job, man.
Well, and I think to James and Shady's point, the thing that makes the most sense, and we've talked about it a lot on this show, is the Cleveland Browns have 2 first-round picks next year, right? And they know what they have in Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco. They have no clue what they have with Shador and Dillon. And until they play in real games and see when the bullets start flying and all this stuff and adversity hits, how they respond to it, they don't know if they need to draft another franchise quarterback next year.
Yeah.
Let them play.
No doubt about it. Hey, well, what we do know is that Justin Herbert needs a playoff win this season. Is it playoff win or bust for Justin Herbert? He's going into year 6, and with all the hype, with all the attention, with all the Rookie of the Year accolades, which was a long time ago now, is it finally time for Herbert to deliver a playoff win, or are we done? Are we done with it? That's next. Hey, Justin Herbert is set to enter his 6th season in the NFL, but he's still searching for a playoff win. I'm searching right there with him. Everybody told me he was the chosen one. He was amazing. He was the next great quarterback in the NFL. All that greatness and no playoff wins. No playoff wins? Chase, that's your man. That's your homeboy. Y'all share the quarterback room. So if you can, try not to give me a homeboy take. If you can, all things are possible to him who believes, and I believe that you can. No homeboy take. Hey, is it playoff win or bust for Justin Herbert?
Year 6.
Year 6.
Year 6.
Year 6.
0-2.
0-2.
I was with him when he lost his first playoff game when we were up, I think, 35-7 against Jacksonville. Not great.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's playoff win or bust.
Hold on.
For Justin Herbert.
I appreciate that kind of honesty. I appreciate that kind of honesty.
Yeah, and look, I enjoyed. Thank you, Shady. I enjoyed my time with Justin.
As you should have. You got paid a lot of money there.
Yeah, well.
Decent.
Yeah, it's like league minimum there. I made most of my money at the beginning of my career.
Fair.
But shout out Chargers. And plus state income tax. Ooh, it wasn't that, but you know. I think this is, I'm not going to say this is put up or shut up time, right? Because if you look at Justin Herbert's time with the Chargers, he's thrown for the most passing yards out of any player in NFL history through the first 5 seasons he started. Wow. The most. He's also one of 3 NFL players in the history of the game to throw for 3,000 yards, to throw for 20 touchdowns in each of his first 5 seasons. So when you look at stats-wise, it looks great, right? But QBs are supposed to win. And what he did last year, I thought personally, what Jim Harbaugh did and what this team did to him last year, I thought he played really, really well. He didn't start throwing the football until about halfway through the season when both of their starting running backs got hurt. He was very efficient. I think he only threw 3 or 4 touchdowns in the regular season. But then you look at the playoff game, he threw a lot of interceptions in that game on the road against a good C.J. Stroud-led Houston Texans team. But when you look at it, right, I cannot say that, oh, your Matthew Stafford didn't win a playoff game year 13. I can't say Peyton Manning, it was his 6th season. Mm-hmm. Drew Brees, 6th season. Like, those are great quarterbacks in the game. If you want to become one of those, statistically, he's on a path, right? But he has to find a way to win.
Yeah.
To win one playoff game just to get the monkey off.
If Herbert don't win a playoff game, we need to stop talking about him, period. If you don't win a playoff game, stop talking about him. You came into the league with Jordan Love, won playoff games. You came into the league with Joe Burrow, been to the Super Bowl. You came into the league with Jalen Hurts, has won a Super Bowl, has been to 2 of them. I stopped talking about Tua Tagovailoa last year. I still love Tua Tagovailoa as a person, but eventually we have to stop wasting national television space talking about Tua. I still talk about him on social media at times, obviously, but I have to do due diligence and respect my craft, respect my job, and respect you, the viewer at home. Why are we talking about Justin Herbert if he doesn't win a playoff game and if he's the reason his team loses playoff games? Houston Texans, pick sixes. You're the reason your team lost playoff games. So I'm done talking about Justin Herbert if he doesn't win a playoff game. If you want to go talk about him for other reasons and keep talking about his rookie year, sure. His rookie year was a long time ago. Win a playoff game or I will shut up. You put up or I'm going to shut up.
Yeah. I like how you said that. That was good. That was real good. Because I noticed you don't talk about Tua no more.
No, I can't.
Thank God. And then that take right there, that was real. And I'm going to follow that up. Yeah, we can't talk about Herbert no more until you win a playoff game. Because all the stats Chase said, that's great. You know, you look good throwing it, right? But what's have that gotten you?
Right.
Because in 2 playoff games, you got 2 touchdowns, you got 4 picks. That's the truth.
That's the very truth.
You know what I'm saying? Who wants that? So yes, I'm all for that. I think he's a super talent, but I can't talk about you no more. And it's not even like the elite conversation. It's more just like you're a good quarterback. Like, we think you're a good quarterback, but then when we get to the big games, what really matter the most, you do stuff like this. Mm-hmm. And then if I'm hardball, I would just say some simple stuff like, hey, man, let's try to throw the ball to the same color jersey. Because right now, look at this.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Really quick, because I don't really know like what's a good game for a quarterback. I know what's a good game for a wide receiver.
You know what's not good for a quarterback.
And I know what's a bad game for a wide receiver. You could have 150, but if you had 2 drops, bro, come on. That ain't you can't be smiling walking off the field. So 25 for 43, 270 yards, 1 touchdown, and you took 3 sacks. Is that a good game for a quarterback?
Any picks?
0 interception.
It's all right. It's a okay game.
It's an okay game.
278, 1 touchdown.
Okay. So that's the playoff game they blew the 30-point lead.
Yeah,
But I didn't think he played bad. I thought he like, man, they up that many points. I thought he like lit it up. Yeah. Nah, man, that was his stats numbers, right? So he wasn't really helping.
You watched the game, he wasn't doing
And then 14 for 32. 232 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 picks. I don't need your help for that one.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You're good. I know that.
I don't need your help for that one. That's a bad game. So I'd be very hard on Joe Burrow up here. We all be very hard on Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott and Joe Burrow had a game like that in the playoffs, oh, my goodness. Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. Do not turn the TV on the next day, right? Because people will be killing them doo-doos, right? 1 touchdown, 4 picks. It's time for the boy to deliver, and it's no longer the regular season. It's playoffs only. It's time for the boy to deliver, straight up. So he got to be at his best when his best is needed, and that's in the playoffs.
I mean, that take was like good, but it wasn't completely honest.
What wasn't honest about it?
Because some guys I know that you just named had some close numbers like that, where he lost the game, he threw some pick sixes, he threw some picks.
Who's that?
I mean, like,
and we talk about him bad, though. That's what I said.
Cowboys.
Do we or do I? Do we or do I? Let me do my
I
business.
mean, we help you. Yeah, zip it. Zip it.
Yeah, you're right. He needs more help.
Hey, when we return, AFC North, it's a jam-packed quarterback class. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, which AFC North quarterback is under the most pressure? That's next. Do we? AFC North will feature Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, and it could feature any of the number of potential Browns quarterbacks. Shady, which AFC North quarterback you think is under the most pressure?
Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow and Lamar, they are super good. I think they're both elite. And it's only one of them guys keep going to the playoffs. One of them guys going to AFC Championship game. Other guys not even going to the playoffs at all. So it got to be Joe Burrow. And the wide receiver, you have the talent you got. Like, come on, man.
There is no wrong answer to this question, but I'm going to take this answer. Whoever starts for the Browns. Because if it's not Shedeur Sanders, there's a number of pressure for everybody saying, yo, why in the world is Kenny Pickett in there instead of Shedeur? Everybody going to be wearing Shedeur jerseys. Everybody's going to be waiting to see Shedeur Sanders. And then if it is Shedeur Sanders, with love begets hate. Criticism is the cost of praise. A lot of people like Shady McCoy praise Shedeur Sanders, but there are a lot of people, obviously, that want to see Shedeur Sanders fall, want to see him fail, want to see him get humbled. The whole NFL, you could suggest, that were decision makers, wanted to see him get humbled. So if it's Shedeur Sanders starting, he has a lot of pressure. If it's not Shedeur Sanders starting, they have a lot of pressure because everybody wants to see Shedeur Sanders. I use everybody as hyperbole. I think whoever starts in Cleveland's under the most pressure.
Pressure to win 5 games. Let's just be real. It's Joe Burrow, almost Shady, 100%. Because he's facing pressure in 2 separate ways. One, he's got to make the playoffs.
Yes, he does.
That's a fact.
Like he's played extremely well, right? He's got to make the playoffs. But 2, he has to score more points because his defense is so bad. Mm-hmm. Like, he has to consistently, as a quarterback, you have to play perfect with what they showed last year. And he threw for almost 5,000 yards and 40-something touchdowns, and they didn't even make the playoffs. So, look, Burrow asked the Bengals to give him everything they wanted, and they've done it. And they're probably going to sign Trey Hendrickson. So on top of that, you're saying, hey, give me all the stuff on offense. Let's not fix the defense. You have to be better in every single scenario. 2 separate ways of pressure. It's Joe Burrow.
Without a doubt, it's Joe Burrow, man. And it's very simple for me. Elite dudes don't miss the playoffs in their prime.
True.
If Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson and whoever you think is elite miss the playoffs in their prime, we'll be bashing them. We don't really bash Joe like that, and Joe's missed the playoffs 2 years in a row, and this could be 3, as well as he's been playing. He's an elite quarterback, and his teams have not been in the playoffs. If Lamar Jackson's teams have not been in the playoffs, good God, Lord have mercy, how we would be talking about him. If Aaron Rodgers in his prime time when he was winning MVP after MVP was not making the playoffs, good God, we'd be talking about him. Elite quarterbacks in their prime, they at least get to the dance.
True.
JoJo, get yourself there.
Hey, when we return, it's time for us to get ourselves to a Blitz Meeting. Hey, there is a catch that happened in sports that might be the most incredible catch you have ever seen. Even if you do not like baseball, you will like this. This was special. One of those you remember where you were when you... Let's get to a Blitz Meeting. Word on the street is that the Mavs head coach could be one of the candidates for the vacancy in New York. Remember, the Knicks fired Thibodeau, and now Jason Kidd could be on the hot market block. Shady, what's the better job for Jason Kidd? Mavs
Easy
or
one.
Knicks?
Knicks. Come on, the Garden? Listen, go out, get out of there and down in Dallas, man. Seriously, you in the West, got a lot going on. You might get the, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot that goes on over there. Come to New York, you got Brunson, you got a lot of good players, you got Cat. You can make some things happen. They was 2 games away from the finals.
I got to vehemently disagree with my dog 2-5. I got to spend some time with Jason Kidd about a month ago in Dallas, and for him to be the first coach, not the first coach, but one of, I think, a few coaches to both win as a player, because remember, he brought Dallas their first championship as a player. If he can backdoor and bring Dallas a championship as a coach, that would be phenomenal. You still got Cooper Flagg more than likely. You got Kyrie Irving coming back from injury. We'll see what happens with Clay along with the other bigs. I think stay in Dallas, do as a player and a coach.
Dallas, I think for a couple reasons. One, there's way less pressure to win in Dallas because they traded Luka. New York, you better win right away. And number 2, you got Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving. Like, you got good players there. You have something to build on, and you were a player there. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. Stay in Dallas. You get fired in New York for winning.
So true.
Stay over here, man. You know what I mean? Get the number 1 pick.
Finals fired.
Kyrie coming off injury, man. You can make a lot of money here. You get fired. You be looking for a job. Man. You get fired for winning.
That's a phenomenal point. Hey, last season's rookie quarterback class was star-studded. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Drake May, J. McCarthy. Y'all know the names. Second-year quarterback under the most pressure is...
Caleb Williams. It should be an easy one. Caleb's been one of the most hyped-up players I've seen in a long time, and he deserves it because he is that good. It's time to see it, because if not, you're going to hear a lot of whispers. Is he the guy? Is Buzzy the guy? This, that, and the third. Do your thing, Caleb.
This might be the easiest question we've all been asked all day. Caleb Williams. It's got to be Caleb. Caleb, like everything Shady said.
Yeah, I'm going to push back a little bit. Like, I know
Don't
Caleb
go
is
JJ.
probably the answer, but I'm going to go Drake May. He's also in a second head coach in his second year. He's also in a second offensive play caller in the second year. I like the way he played. He has way less weapons around him. No Stephon Diggs is there, but he has way less weapons around him. It's a tougher division, all these things. That's why I like Drake May.
Caleb.
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
I respect it. Hey, the Jets, Panthers, Falcons, Saints, Bears, Colts, as y'all look at it on your list, these are the longest droughts of playoff appearances. Some teams are looking at 16-year droughts. Other teams are looking at about 8-year droughts. And other teams simply 5-6-year droughts.
2010, I won the Super Bowl.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. Shady McCoy, which team has the best chance at ending their playoff drought?
Caleb Williams and the Bears. Let's go. A lot of great players, a really, really good coach, offensive-minded guy. Caleb, we want to see that USC Oklahoma Caleb. That's what we want to see. We going to see.
I think this team I'm about to say is much closer than the record dictated.
Don't stop it. You know he's in.
Panthers?
He coming with me.
Is it because the division's so bad? The division's not very good. Bryce Young got things started to
You
ascend.
had a 50-50 shot because let's be real. The only answers are either the Panthers or the Bears. I went Bears. I think they're going to win like a wild card spot. The Panthers, though, have a chance.
They do.
To win the division, so I can see both.
bad.
What'd you get?
I'm with Carolina, man. I love the way Bryce Young and those boys finished last year, man. I think they're going to be a really good team. I do.
All right, let's head down the road to Anaheim, shall we? The A's center fielder, Denzel Clark, lock into your screen. Stop what you're doing. If you're just listening, look at the TV right now and look at that catch.
Come on, man.
That's a catch, bro.
Look at that catch. I mean, that's you don't even have to love baseball to love that and realize the athleticism that takes.
That's a catch.
Was Venzo Clark's catch shady the best catch you've ever seen?
Listen, man, first and foremost, let's give it credit. You know he a brother. Look how high he jumped.
Only brothers jump that high. Canadian.
He's Canadian.
Is he?
He's a Canadian.
You know him? Do you know him? Do you know him? No, but I said, do you know him?
Citizenship.
I didn't ask you. I said,
Canadian.
I'm asking you again.
do you know him?
I thought citizenship.
Shady shouldn't have
James, he asked my question. All right, all right, we don't know him. But the way he jumped, we know one thing. He might be a brother. Look at that, dude. Look at that. That's like a 45 right in there, dude. That's a brother, dog.
That's a brother.
Do you know him?
I know his people. I know his mama and them, Jay.
What's his
mama in there?
What's his name?
What's his mother name?
Oh, that's a brother name. That's a brother name.